Welcome, friends and fans, to another edition of GalaxyCon Live, where we are bringing the convention experience directly to you. And today we are going back to the Fringe division with three amazing guests. And now's the time for all of you in our chat room to begin typing in your questions for them. Immediately after this session, you will have the opportunity to talk to them directly through our private chat options, as well as shop our selection of personalized autographs, all of which are available now at GalaxyCon.com. So without further ado, let's go on down to the lab and see who we find. Our first guest is a Tony Award-winning actor, singer, and guitarist whose career on stage and screen includes Assassins, Fun Home, The Tick, and Gotham, and so much more. Today, he joins us to discuss the role of September. Please welcome Michael Cerverus.
Hey there.
Hey. How you doing today, boss?
I'm doing great. I'm doing very good. I'm so happy to be together with John and Seth and everybody out there.
Oh, absolutely. And it's an absolute pleasure to have you here today. I just got to say, as an equity actor, I am in awe of all your stage work. As a Batman fan, I loved your Professor Pig. And as a true crime fan, I adore Mindhunters. So
you are my target demographic.
Oh, well, hey, there you go. In about all three of them. So, Michael, everything is good in your corner of the world?
Yeah, everything's great. And don't be alarmed that my dog in the background is perfectly fine and well. She's just taking a nap.
If she wakes up, feel free to introduce us to her. We love meeting guests here on GalaxyCon Live.
Great.
even the four-legged furry kind. And next, he is an actor whose credits include Salem, Arrow, and the United States of Terra. Today, he joins us to discuss the multiple roles of Agent Lincoln Lee and Agent Lincoln Lee. Please welcome Seth Gable.
How's it going? Hello.
Hey, Seth, how you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
I am doing well in my corner of the world. Fellow Broward County boy, so
representing.
Really? Yeah.
Or apologies. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I know. I guess it's one of those things or whatever.
Yeah,
so,
go that way.
Absolutely. So how's everything in your corner of the world?
It's great. It's so much fun to be here. I'm so excited to see Michael and John and talk about this. And Fringe is such a great memory in my life. I can't believe it's been the amount of time it has since we've been doing it. But sci-fi is my favorite genre, and so it's so much fun to even be able to talk about it.
Oh, absolutely. And real quick, I really love your turn in Nip Tuck. That was an interesting character arc, and we'll leave it at that. And and a lot of people get taken aback when I say this, but I was an absolute unabashed fan of Dirty Sexy Money.
Oh, very cool. Why do people get taken aback? It was a good show.
Because I'm Mr. Geek and sci-fi, comedy radar and stuff.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Ooh, Dirty Sexy Money." What the?
And that had cred, though. That had cred. It was all ironical. It was all meant to be a spoof and a goof and just kind of having fun with those billionaire people and making fun of them while at the same time having fun.
And tremendous cast. You had a really group.
As a young actor starting out, to be able to work with Sutherland and Peter Krause and Joel Kleberg and one of the Baldwin brothers, Billy. Yeah. It was so much fun.
Absolutely. And speaking of great cast, let's bring out your remaining Fringe cast member. He is an actor with an amazing body of work that includes Elementary, Sleepy Hollow, The Boys, Batman Arkham Knight, and of course, The Lord of the Rings. Today, he joins us to discuss the multiple roles of Dr. Walter Bishop and his alternate copy, Secretary of Defense Walter Bishop. Please welcome Mr. John Noble.
Hello there. How are you?
Hey, John. How are you?
Oh, good, mate. I'm good. I've been up and at it for a long time, I tell you.
What time is it in your part of the world?
Well, it's 3 o'clock, just after 3 o'clock here. But, yeah, it's funny, isn't it? But, yeah, 3 o'clock in Texas, where I live.
No.
Yeah, that's all. That's all there is to say about that, really.
All right. Yeah, it's good. It's good. Glad to have you in good spirit, good health. And again, as a comic book fan, I just have to say, I'm in awe of the fact that we have 3 DC supervillains here. We have Count Vertigo, we have Professor Pig, and we have the Scarecrow. So, hey, glad to have you all here, even though we're here to talk about Fringe. And speaking of, our team is going to the chat room right now, pulling out the fan questions for us. In the meantime, I'd just like to throw this out. How did each of you find yourselves to be cast in your roles in Fringe?
Maybe go in chronological order. John, were you cast?
It's a little bit. Okay. So Sam, my daughter, and I were in Los Angeles in 2007. You know, it's being there, sitting there, waiting for work to come in. And she contacted me and said, "Hey, Dad, J.J. Abrams got a new show. It was a great role in it for you." And I said, "J.J. who?" "Oh, J.J." And so I said to my manager at the time, "Please get me a look in." He called me back about 10 minutes later. He said, "No, you're too old or you're too young or something or other. They don't want to see you." And so we both headed home for Christmas and to Australia. And it's early January, very early January. There's this text comes through. "Will you please put down the tape for this character?" It was the one that I wanted to go for, which I was too old or too young or too fat or too thin for. But anyway, I loved it. It was the opening scene of the whole series, which was of Walter's. It was the one where he's in the cafeteria or something. He's as crazy as a snake. But I loved doing it. And Sam read the part of Olivia, and then I had a friend of ours was videotape, set it across, and they said, "Okay, you got the job." Yep. Okay. Right. See, you can tell I'm not Hollywood. I'm not used to all these callbacks and chemistry checks. I never had one actually. So,
Good on you.
I know, but that's sort of how it came about. And then it was just a roller coaster because we were about 3 weeks later up in Toronto making the pilot. So it was a great time. Yeah, go on. So that's me, Dad. Oh, what? Is that right, Patty?
That's what. Yeah, that's just again the fact that he had the clout from his end is said, "Yeah, this is the guy I want. We're going forward. Let's do it." So, absolutely.
I got to learn to make tapes like John does.
Yeah, that is not my experience with making tapes.
Yeah.
No, but don't you find that if you've got a really good one?
Yeah, you can at least pick your best take.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
And so I've walked away from a couple of things thinking, I remember going home that day after we'd taped, and I said to Penny, my wife, I said, "Hey, guess what, love? I think I might get that." And she looked at me askance. So she was on the plane to Toronto with me, had no doubt.
Do you guys find, I feel like that's a phenomenon I experience where you kind of get a sense when you know you're going to get a part, when you do a good audition, and there's kind of a feeling you get. And I don't really get that feeling for the parts that I don't get. It's the combination of knowing you did a great job on the audition and then just kind of a sixth sense that tells you this one's going to work out. Do you guys experience that too?
Yeah, I do.
I have that feeling every once in a while and not very often, but I would say that I'm only right in that feeling like 1 out of every 5 times that happens. Like
That's all it takes, though. Just that one.
Yeah, it only takes the one, but most of the ones that I feel like I've gotten were the ones where I just, for whatever reason, just kind of threw it off and, just kind of didn't really have a lot of time to prepare for it, or wasn't sure that it was something I really wanted to do anyway, so I wasn't going to invest a lot of time. The ones that I really care about and invest time in and like spend so much time in almost never turn out.
Yeah.
And it's the other ones that are just like, oh, well, I'm never going to get this. I'll just go in anyway. And
it's
then,
like they sense that desperate desire and just can't.
I wonder why they get us to do these tapes. They already know who we are. So I guess they just want to see us again to see if we've got bloated or something. They already know what we look like, and they're just going to do some made-up lines from their sides to try to make sense of them. And it's bullshit. I mean, it's just it's insane. Here's a go. So Thursday night, my agent rings me and says, "Oh, there's this show, and we wanted to make an offer, but they haven't. So will you put down a tape? And could you please have it in by Friday afternoon?" This is late on Thursday night, and I read it. It was good. I like the role and I like the show. There's no way, God's earth, I could do it then or yesterday or today. So I said to him, no. Like, I'll do it. I'd love to. Why don't we do a Zoom call with whoever's casting it? They'll be able to see me and hear me and see that I'm not completely demented. But no, it didn't happen that way.
Yeah.